Hey guys, good morning. Jeff Ryan here. This just came in the Chaparral. I know, why did I get that, right? It doesn't have any windshield, doesn't have the headlights, doesn't have chassis, doesn't have the chassis. Why in the world did I get it? Well, it doesn't have any accents either, and you guys know I collect the ones that don't have any factory accents on it. And when I was buying it, I kept looking at the picture and go, boy, it's in really good shape, really good shape. And then I discovered one of the pictures, the other thing it doesn't have any thread in them screw posts, does it? This thing has never had any track time. There's just a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say wear, but it looks like maybe this has been in a box for years and whatever's on it, so there's a little bit there. I'm going to wash it up. But I know that Aurora sold these like this. They sold them just like this. They didn't have the chassis, didn't have the windshield, they didn't have, the headlights, nothing like that. Well, I have a chassis that is a flamethrower. It's a flamethrower. And let me see if I can get it out here with the one hand. Just a sec. All right. I've had this thing for, 25 years. It's the last one I've had. About 25 years ago, I bought a case of chassis, flamethrower chassis. And this is the last one I have. And I always thought if I had a project that was like, something like this, like the Chaparral, might as well go ahead and use it. So I think it's going to be a good match. Now, I know that the Chaparral, when they sold it, it was part of the Tuff Ones package and promotion, all that. Well, this chassis is a standard T-Jet chassis, but it's a flamethrower. It's a flamethrower. So just a bit ago, I was getting out the Tuff Ones rear tires, front tires, and recently I was just asked about the Tuff Ones gear ratio. Well, with the crown gear, let me go ahead and get it here. With the crown gear on the Tuff Ones, look at it. It's thinner as far as the back part of the gear there that would rub against the or not rub against the chassis, but it's much shorter, and the cluster gear is bigger. It's bigger. So look at this one. This is the standard T-Jet crown gear. See how much bigger the back of that is? A whole lot bigger. A whole lot bigger. And look how small that cluster gear is. So that's the big difference. So what I want to do is I want to dress the chassis out to look like a Tuff One, but to respond like a regular standard T-Jet chassis. So that's what I'm going to get after. And the lights, the windshield, I bought 2 slot cars. One of them was a Firebird, and another one was a Chaparral, but it had the windshield and it had the headlights. So it's like I couldn't pass it up. The price was right. I couldn't pass it up. So they're still in the mail. That'll probably be next video or something like that. But they're coming. So we're going to get as far along as we can with what we got. Just getting ready to dive into 2 things real quick. The clamshell cases. I don't want to say I don't like them. I don't keep them. Anybody wants that, let me know before I eBay it. I know the guys on eBay like it. I always like giving you guys a first shot. And the second thing is this hadn't been even transform tested. This has never seen the track time or anything. Let me get the transformer. Here we go. And let's see what we get. I think the worst thing that could happen would be the light not working, or supernova-ing and just burn out real quick. Now, it hasn't been oiled or nothing, so I expect it not to. It might squeal, but boy, look at the shoes. They just look nice. They just look nice. Okay, yeah, it's squealing, and you can see that the light's on. Okay, we're gonna have to oil that bugger properly, okay? That's the first time that thing's ever turned over. Very good. All right, just a sec. Let me go ahead and get the camera set up. Just getting a few more parts. Very quickly, on the Tuff Ones chassis, not only did they have the wider tires, rims, and that stuff, they had the silver-plated shoes in the bottom of the chassis, silver-plated. They also had a hot wired armature in there. It was it was like a big upgrade at the time, and they also had more powerful magnets, and I think that's when they started coloring them, with the red, the white, the blue, all that stuff. So that's a few more differences there. All right, let me finish getting the parts there, and we'll get going. Okay, good. I think I got everything that I need to get started here. The 2 axles there, the back axle's got some oxidation on. I'm going to hit it with the Dremel and the wire brush that I have. And the front axle there, also known as a finishing nail. It looks like it's in good shape when I install that in the front there. Just going to give it some oil. Looks like it's real good shape. To start off, I always want to go ahead and get the body clean. And you see right there, just behind the headlights, I don't know, it's either something was on it, but I'm going to see if I can brighten that up a little bit. And then we're going to get some VRP on it and get that thing all nice and shiny. Then we're going to discombobulate the chassis and get it oiled up properly. All right, let me go ahead and hit this in the sink. Wow, okay, good. It's still dripping wet, much cleaner. Let me go ahead and shirt dry this real quick. Man, it came out much better. Very good. I've said this a number of times, it's always worth the caution. I just washed it, so there's water down in the screw post there. I know there's no threads and we're going to drill it, but I always just wick it out with like a bit of a paper towel, because if you put a screw in there and there's water in there, guess what's going to rust? It's not going to be fun when you try to get it out. So always wick the water out, guys. Fantastic, just got it dried, looks real good. The luster isn't there that I like, and that's where the VRP comes in. The vinyl rubber plastic made by the chemical guys. Can't say enough good about them, guys. It's absolutely wonderful product. What we're going to do is put a little bit on, just kind of splooge it on. I'm going to rub it in with the paper towel there. Then I'm going to set it aside and just let it set, let it just do its stuff. Then when we get it off, you just wipe it off. And often I just shirt buff it, and it comes out so good. It comes out so good. If you guys haven't tried the VRP, I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Okay, let me go ahead and get that done. Getting ready to dive into the chassis, I was just thinking I really don't need to discombobulate everything. Yeah, I got to get the axles out, but I don't have to take the top plate off to oil what I need, and I can get to the cluster gear that way. So I can oil it like this. I do prefer, like if I had a discombobulate, I do prefer to oil as I go along. Just makes it a little bit easier, less messy. So let me go ahead and get these axles off real quick. Okay, just pull the axles on. Let's get ready to start to oil. I want to make sure you get some in that hole for the cluster gear there, for the shaft, and some right there. I also like trying to get a little bit under the gears on the top plate, just a little bit. And again, that cluster gear back there, I like getting that. There you go. There you go. And when I reinstall the axles, I'll go ahead and oil those as we put them back in. Just getting the back axle installed, and with the crown gear, often it's like, hey man, that thing just doesn't line up. How to get the crown gear there? I've always, with this small little screwdriver, I've always found it very easy to align it that way with that small screwdriver. Then when I get it, I need to put this in front of me. Then when I get it, I can push the axle through. But I use that small screwdriver to position that crown gear there. Got it dressed out, looking like a Tuff ones, but it's going to perform like a standard TJ chassis. That's what I want. That's what I want. I know when they did the shaft rail there, it was supposed to be the Tuff ones, but man, as far as how fast those chassis are, I have a hard time keeping them on the track. I'd rather have it look good, run well, rather than be a blur around the track. All right, guys, let me go ahead and get that VRP off there. It's been on there for a good little while. I tell you what, guys, I just got done buffing this out with my shirt. Look at the shine on that. I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. It just look how it picks up the reflection there. Yeah, that's just on a dull glow. That's a shine. That's a shine. I can't say enough good about the VRP, guys. If you need to do anything with the vinyl rubber plastic, get it. And just I was thinking about this, and I'm kind of hesitant to do it, but if you really wanted to do something with the chassis, with the VRP, you could do the sidewalls of the tires. It would make them look wonderful. I've used this stuff on rubber, but I wouldn't put any on the bottom of the tires. No, God, no, I wouldn't do that. I just use a little bit on the sidewalls. If you wanted to black them up and make them look real good, the VRP would be wonderful for doing that. Again, I haven't tried it. I have tried it on rubber, but not on the T-Jet tires. Man, that came out good. Okay, we have to thread the screw post. That's going to be next. Here's the way I do it. I just put it in there with my fingers, and I go just a little bit as far. Okay, that's it right there. Then I back it out a little bit. Then a little bit further. Then again, I back it out. I just don't use a power tool, guys. Do not use a power tool. If you have never had any threads in these, you're cutting threads in the plastic. So go just a little bit at a time. Back it out. Go a little bit more. Back it out. Do not force it. Take your time. It takes a couple minutes on each of these screw posts. I feel kind of a little awkward doing it out here. Let me go ahead and put it in front of me. Okay, got the front linen down as far as I think I'm going to need it. If I have to do a little bit more, I'll know after I put the chassis and the guide pin in. And I just started finger tightening the one in the back there. So let me go ahead and get that in front of me. I'll get that tightened up. And I think I got the back one down as far as I'm going to get it. Let me go ahead and put the chassis in. We'll test it and see what we get. Got the body on the chassis. Boy, that looks good. You know, just absolutely pristine, both of them. The chassis and the body. Neither one have had any track time. I think it's time to have some track time. Come on, very good. Let's see what we get, guys. Here we go. Can't tell if the light is working. Let me see if the light's working here. Take it over to transfer. If not, I don't mind replacing the ball. We can do that easy enough. Well, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Okay, let me go and fuss with the wires real quick. Okay, what I did is I just pushed the wires down into the bottom of the chassis a little bit better. Lights right up. Okay, let's get on the track again. I mean, boy, I like the way that it rolls. You know, it rolls like a T-jet, but again, it's dressed out like the Tuff ones. Dressed out like that. Yeah. Actually, the back tires might be, they probably need to be sanded. You know what? Let me put on the outside lane and see if I can go a little faster with the guardrails. That's the way it looks to me. I bet you I got to do some work on the back tires to get them to grip a little bit better. But that's the maiden voyage, guys. Wow. Now, yeah, I'm about to say it's picking up a little bit of speed. Picking up a little bit of speed. You know, often you just got to get the chassis broke in like that. All right, guys, I am not done with the project. I still need to get the headlights and I need to get the windshield. Now, what's interesting is I came across a new way, I'm going to show you in the next video, to get the headlights out, and I haven't tried it yet, but I came across it, to where if they're glued in, we can probably get them unglued without breaking the darn things. So I'll go over that next video. We'll see if it works. Hope it does. Guys, like and share. If you got any questions, I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. See ya. Very quickly, I got another dilemma now. What do? You know, I got all the ones that don't have any factory accidents over here. There's no room. There's no room. What do? I don't know. I'll figure it out.